Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to this brand new interview. I'm very excited for this interview. Someone that I've wanted to interview for so long now because you've seen him on AEW Dynamite, a part of the crowd, but mainly you've seen him on the Janela Zone over in Instagram Live. He is making his GCW, his Game Charger Wrestling debut in July as a part of the Backyard Show. Ladies and gentlemen, that man, that nasty man, nasty Leroy, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm out here grabbing on some Eat Clean Bro, and that's what I'm doing right now.
That's awesome, man. Hey, I'm glad that you're getting comfortable because right now we're going to have a good, normal conversation. So, first and foremost, I'm going to hit you with a kind of a spitball, like fireball question, really quick. So, out of everything that man has done, what would you say is your proudest Instagram Live moment?
Me dancing with Aaron Carter. Well, actually, I would say Aaron Carter, but
Mhm.
really, I'm a fan of her. So, doing an ass swing for Nikki Glazer, because
Okay.
I really have a little bit of a crush on Nikki Glazer. So, her and Katie Nolan, I'm letting it be known. Yeah, because you can't catch that man on no charges. You don't know speak out loud stuff. You ain't gonna catch that. Nah, it's not gonna happen because I'm letting you know up front. And if I'm denying, I'm moving on. Anyway, uh, yeah, Nikki Glazer was one of my favorite because I'm a fan of stand-up comedian and I like her just her her just personality and her jokes and stuff like that. And also having my boys on, having my guys on. They've been there when they was there when quote unquote I was nobody, but I was always somebody. I was
Mhm.
always just walk, talk, act like a star. Genassi boys, Timmy Lou Ratton and White Mike. I think if you don't know who they are, you should go check them out. I literally, even that I'm now starting to be a tag team with Joy Janela. Um, I I want to wrestle them because it could not only boost our tag team. Joey's already been the best in the world for singles wise, so going in the tag team, I want to see if both of us we can hang up because we're both good wrestlers, and I got a lot of stuff in my bags that I'm always learning. A lot of stuff that I haven't yet to pull out for backyard and stuff that I'm gonna pull out for backyard, and
Mhm.
then keep learning and growing. So yeah.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad to see that you're doing great in the wrestling scene right now. You mentioned about Joey Janela. Can you talk about that reaction that you had when Joey Janela did on the Janela Zone reveal to you that you were a part of the backyard show for GCW?
Um, that was my genuine reaction of like I didn't think I was gonna break down, but I broke down, shed some tears because I've been trying to get to this place for years. Probably even if I think about it, like 5 6 years that I've been like literally email. And see, for me, what I get upset is like other guys have cars and
Mhm.
like they're not. Oh, I'm not going to GCW if I'm not on the car or
Mhm.
whatever the case may be. And I'll be around those kind of people, and I'm like, you have a. Can we cuss on here or no?
Sure, I'll bleep it out.
Okay, because I cuss a lot because I'm from the Northeast and Philly and
Yeah,
stuff.
no worries.
You have a fucking car, and I don't understand why you don't go up in there and not only help out, but you never know how I can come. Like
Mhm.
I've set up numerous rings around Atlanta, but if I could, I would just go and set up rings to different promotions, and just that's what I would do. But every promotion or every whether it be a promotion from another state that came in, if GCW ever came down here, I would have been like setting up the rings or whatever. There's another local promotion called Action Wrestling
Mhm.
in Tyrone, Georgia, and I really like that promotion since they got like since the partnership or the affiliate. I don't even say partnership. I'll say affiliation where One Fall now United, One Fall now it's a Nightmare Factory
Mhm.
came together. I was like, hey, is One Fall Wrestling gonna stay? He's like, maybe. And I was like, I was kind of heartbroken of that because that was my promotion that I put on my back. Like I remember starting in that promotion and like in December of 2017, I was a manager there, and I was like putting that promotion on my back. I feel like when I'm a part of a promotion, not to get on like a rant, you gotta stop me if you know you want me
Yeah,
to.
yeah, no worries.
I feel like whenever I go to a promotion, it's my duty not only as a wrestler, as a performer,
Hmm.
sports entertainer, whatever you want to call me. Use some WWE style words. Anyway, that I put that promotion not only in my back, but I promote it as hard as I can because if you come see me, then you'll be surprised and know who you discover. When you come see me, you discover, oh, I never heard of this guy named Nick Gage. Let me go check him out.
Oh yeah.
Or not only seeing Nick Gage, but like I came to see Nancy Leroy, but I found Nick Gage and I found Mansoor and I found Jimmy Lloyd. You
Right.
know, stuff like that. And they're known and Mansoor is doing his thing, but like I like to say, me and Effie have this kind of understanding. We was talking about this I can say this publicly because it's not a bad thing. We was talking about how most people in wrestling, or most matter of fact, I think majority of wrestlers are just sticking to the wrestling bubble. Like I
Right.
think if you get people outside of wrestling bubble, you can bring a lot of attention to you know to the rest to you whatever card you want. So if it's a promotion like this, or if it's a one fall, if it's action,
Hmm.
this is a good side promotion that has good guys on there. You can get them seen, and like not everybody is going to be like on their Twitter and following the promotion and stuff
Right.
like that. So I got guys that don't watch wrestling or used to watch wrestling back in the day, and they like, but they this is gonna be another. You might have to bleep this a lot of episodes because I
Okay.
talk a lot because I'm Philly, the
Yeah, yeah.
Northeast and stuff. But anyway, I got guys like, oh yeah, man, Nancy Leroy is here, and he's gonna be on the card, and then like, oh, I didn't know about this dude Nick Gage. Oh, he's tight, yo. Or as they say here in the South, no cap, shouty. I'm telling you, shouty. Nick Gage is the shit. Him and y'all go crazy up in that thing.
Hmm.
So I think so they were like, God damn, uh, you know, I never knew about this. Kind of like a lot of the promotions that I talk about, they didn't even know what Game Changer Wrestling was, and I was like, yeah, it's top independent promotions. Like I say, if I had to give you a kind of example, it'd be like if ECW had a kid and it became a teenager and became in his college years, like
Hmm.
in his 20s, it'd be Game Changer Wrestling.
Oh yeah.
So that's
Oh
what I
yeah.
like. It was like, all right, I'm gonna check that shit out. I'm gonna go fuck with you. I'll fuck with you, Nasty. I was like, all right. So I like that. I just think that putting on the promotion on my back already. Any promotion, just any promotion. Like I like to do that. I'm not going to just, hey, once you give me a door, once I get in the door and I get in with an opportunity,
Hmm.
I'm going to not only bust through that door with opportunity, I'm gonna show you that I'm way valuable to the promotion,
Right.
and you know that's what uh that's what I like to do. I want whenever I was at AEW, I was like to say I had make signs, but I didn't make signs because my handwriting is chicken scratch. I ain't gonna lie, it's kind of crap. It's kind of crapola. It's real shitty. So I don't fucking like this. People ask me like, why you don't smile? Because I got a shitty smile, but I'm starting to smile without teeth in pictures. So I'm starting to do that. So yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, that's awesome. I mean, when you talk about GCW, Game Charger Wrestling, you're right when they say that it's, you look at people like not only just looking forward to Nasty Leroy, but they're, Nick Gage. Another person that I think of when I think of GCW, of course, is Joey Janela, and all those different types of different styles. Oh, and also, I also forgot to mention Casanova Valentine, who was a part of the GCW roster as well. I follow this page, and I don't know if you do as well. They're named the Boulevard Bullies, and they go to
Those
GCW.
my guys.
Yeah, yeah. So it's awesome to see. GCW kind of resurrecting that ECW type style. I mean, whether that's through their death matches or through just their regular extreme kind of extreme rules based matches. So I do definitely agree with you when the old ECW days are kind of being resurrected here little by little.
But I think watching yesterday's event,
Mm-hmm.
it's more than like when people say, oh, when I tell them like it's the ECW, um, I tell them like ECW is like, oh, it's all hardcore, right? I was like, no, it's got. I think game changer. I'm not just saying it because I have the shirt on. I'm not just saying it because I'm a debut on the 4th of July. I've always said this, like game changer. Do it. You know what? It was a perfect name when I called it game changer because it was literally a game changer for the world of wrestling at the time when they formed it.
Mm.
Joey told me it used to be Georgia Championship Wrestling. And it used to just a real regular independent promotion in Jersey. But it really was a game changer because if you think about it, like I tell everybody else, and you're watching me and you say, hey, I seen this guy from AEW, but I don't really know game changer wrestling. I know Joey's from there, but I don't know anybody else.
Right.
So I tell people, game changer last year they did, and of course they do. Yeah, they do. GCW style rules, couple doors in there, powerbomb people and stuff like that. But other than that, like the Manson Wars, who was super over, and Matt Justin and their tag team, the Second Gear. You got Effie, where he does his own thing. He's his own entity,
Yeah.
and so he can get hardcore. And he can. The thing I like about Effie is I only met him like online, but when we met up in person, it was like we lost no time. We just started talking about what we was talking about online, and see the people there. They're so genuine there that when you meet them online, they're the same outside. Because I'm the same way online that I am inside.
Right.
I mean, of course, I'm a little quieter when new people. Not only for the simple fact that some people I might rub the wrong way,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm only quiet for you to get to know me, and I'll talk to you, but I won't be like I'll go up to you, I say what's up to you, but like only I'll kind of feel like the situation because some people
Mm-hmm.
will be like, hey, I don't like that Nasty Leroy. There are people out like that don't like that man and whatever. There are haters out there, so But the people who I rub the wrong way, I try not to rub the wrong way. I try to get, I don't say everybody like me, majority of the people. So, but
Mm-hmm.
I say this, I tell people like if you are watching Sock Monkey Mike, and I know I watched some of your stuff about how you have the NXT and then you have AEW. Well, I say this: if you watch AEW, you should dive into each roster, or
Mm-hmm.
mainly, all pretty much have like 4 or 5 people that was on the Game Changer Wrestling roster
Oh
that
yeah.
was regulars, which is of course Joey Janela, Marco Stunt, Jungle Boy, and people say MJF that he's on there, but he was mainly Beyond guy, so he did a lot of stuff in Beyond Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I just tell people go on Independent Wrestling TV, go buy that, and like go to the Game Changer and go Beyond, and that's mainly where a lot of the guys that are on AEW came from and
Oh yeah.
launched their careers. So I tell them like Game Changers. What it is a game changer because at the same point, it's not me kissing nobody's ass or nothing like that. This is just me just saying how I feel. Like since it changed the name Game Changer Wrestling and it uh came all in popularity and it's the place to be. Like matter of fact, if you don't want to wrestle for these 5 promotions, women and men, if you don't want to wrestle for Shimmer as a woman, you don't want to wrestle for Shine, you don't want to wrestle, of course Shine is a W affiliated, but you don't wrestle for Shine, mainly Shine, Rise, because Rise will help you out, guys and girls. I just tell people like if you get the chance, you go there. I've hit them up and be like, hey, can I manage some girls and Shimmer? Because I like their stuff, I like their I like Steve Carino's sister, Alice in Danger. I like all that stuff. Like it really helps you be a better wrestler. I tell all the girls,
Right.
go to Shimmer. But if you're not trying to wrestle with Game Changer, you're not trying to wrestle for Beyond, and you want AEW to check you out, like literally, this is not it's not me breaking anything because they do watch it. Like WWE and AEW watch what's on the independent circuit.
Oh yeah.
They watch it closely. They watch the big promotions that I found that they watch, like the Young Bucks. They watch PWG. That's their home. Joey, because he found. You know what? People think I've been knowing Joey. Yeah, I've known him for 4 years, but we never really had a dynamic relationship where we was best friends. Like he knew I was out there because he would be watching my stuff, but he never was like, hey, come talk to me or whatever. So when he brought me on camera, actually people don't know this before the Janela Zone, he brought me on his Instagram live. I don't know if he was doing the Janela Zone back then
Mm-hmm.
in January, but I went on there, I talked to him, told about my lifestyle, this is my real lifestyle. I'll be out here in these streets out here. Now, some uh some would say, not only some would say, I would say too, that I might be slowing down, but also I might not. So it's like I'm like having on getting that, but he brung me up and he was like talking to me and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know when was the moment that he decided that I'm gonna be a regular. I just like whenever he gets to me, I was like, hey, I'm just gonna do my thing. It's my opportunity. Because I messed up one opportunity with him first time. I was like, I'm not messing nothing up no more. If I were able to get loud with him, I'm gonna just do my thing. So yeah, if you're an aspiring wrestler or you're a wrestler now, and you don't want to wrestle for these promotions, and you're trying to get the AEW, and you're trying to get a WWE, and you're not, yeah, you're trying to get those promotions, and you're not really saying, "Oh, I don't want to go to Game Changer. I don't want to go Beyond." Uh, you're not gonna get the AEW or WWE unless you're a super athlete that WWE is like gonna scout and bring in to their training facility. This facts is how it is.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you are like I said, you're a super athlete, they like you, man. And this is not like me taking shots at the E. It's a fact. Like they bring in guys that never watched wrestling in their life or they heard of it. I don't really like when people say I heard of it. Do you know this or not? Like,
Right.
oh, I've heard of Jay and Silent Bob the movie, or I've heard of Joey Janela. Have you really? Have you really done your research? Like,
Right.
I've heard of Game Changer Wrestling, but have you actually watched a fucking match?
Right.
Like, it's like that pisses me off. I was talking to somebody at Hooters one time, and he was like, "Yeah, I've heard of Wu Tang," and I was like, "Really? Have you?" It's like, "What songs have you heard?" And it's like the music, like when people say they like, "Oh, I like different kinds of music."
Mm-hmm.
I like different kinds of music, and then they were like, "Oh, I like only this genre, I like this genre, and like this genre." Oh, you only in that four? That's not all kinds. That's just only like rap, country, and punk rock, and that's about it. And I don't like metal. Well, you don't like all kinds of music. I'm sorry, I'm getting on the
Yeah,
rant,
yeah,
but
no worries. I truly understand your message as well. I mean, you have to go to the, out of your comfort zone sometimes to get to where you need to go. You know what I mean? If you're not comfortable doing death matches or just competing in game charger wrestling in general, then you should definitely, explore. You know what I mean? There's different opportunities out there. I mean, I know some wrestlers that started all the way in CZW and went on from CZW all the way to PWG, and then same thing goes for vice versa and stuff like that. So I really do understand the different avenues that a professional wrestler can take. So I mean that's actually some great advice, despite a little bit of cussing. I mean, hey, it's
I
great
cuss a
advice.
lot. I also like to put this out. Um, I've heard all the haters and all the people and stuff say like, "Oh yeah, this is gonna be on my stuff." I'm not already on my soapbox, but it's just like once I start thinking about stuff, it just makes me upset. But I'm trying not to think about it. But I'll say this, and I won't be going in shooter mode. Um, I tell, I think people underestimate how smart I am, how smart I am. Now, I never went to college, but you know, uh, or I never went to college and never graduated, but I know how to read certain people. I know how to talk to certain people. You know, if I like you, you can obviously tell. People who know me, like my longtime friends, know if I like you, you see how the way I talk to you. If I'm kind of like you, kind of like like this to me, I'll talk to you in a certain way, kind of like as the old saying goes. I don't like to call myself real because I feel like that's just I don't like to do it. I let other people call me, oh, you the realest in the room. I'll let you do that. Like legend, like of course I talk myself a third person, as Cam would say. But I don't like to call myself the living legend or nothing like that. This is I let everybody else call me the legend and stuff. People think that I'm not smart enough to realize and stuff. What I do, a lot of stuff that people don't do nowadays is really, I'm quote unquote my character in and outside the ring. I'm me 24/7, but Nash Leroy is me. Like that. That's just how I get down. I've been known as Nash Leroy before wrestling, and I'm going to be always Nash Leroy even when I retire from wrestling. Which probably it's not going. I'm just going to retire from the in ring. But a lot of people don't think I'm smart and stuff. They don't think I'm smart to wrestling and the stuff they say. But I hear what they say and stuff. But people out here talk stuff. People send me some stuff, and I hear what they say. But it is what it is. Real. As they say, real recognizes real, but real can recognize some fakes. But I say I can recognize a rat bastard a mile away. If you got rat bastard tendencies, hey, listen, I can see it and stuff. And nobody, you know, I know a lot of people get on Sock Monkey Mike, but he is a good dude from what I can tell.
Thank you.
So and he may look like a rat bastard, but he's not a rat bastard.
Well, I appreciate that. I do agree with you, Leroy, in terms of that. I mean, there is hate. We all know that there's hate everywhere. There's negativity everywhere. But I think the best advice I could just say is that and you're living proof of that advice, and that's just to stay positive. That's to keep that positive mentality going on. No matter how many people have different judgments of you. I mean, it's living proof that no matter what, as long as you stay positive and then you tell the haters, or you don't even give them the light of day and just say, you know what, I'm doing what I'm doing. I mean, with you, for example, you're making your GCW debut on the 4th of July at the Backyard Wrestling Show. You're on the Janela Zone. You were a part of Janela Zone and Knowing Joy Janela and all these other different types of professional wrestlers that have been a part of GCW. I mean, you're killing it, dude.
I appreciate that. Well, that's pretty much for the spot that I'm in now that I wanted. That's how what I wanted. Like so I never was like, I know for the majority of people that grew up like some in the 90s and early 2000s, whenever you grew up, you're like, oh, I want to go to the WWE. I never watched WWE until I was in my teens, until I was like, I think 15 or 16. Maybe
Right.
maybe like 15 or 16 in my teens. Like I was in high school by the time I started watching high school, but junior high. I will say junior high, going in high school. So I had never was like, there was my goal always to be on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown. It was good watching it, but you would never catch me signing a contract. And I've said this in private, and I'll say this in public. I don't sign a contract because even if I did sign a contract, let's just say for example, I did sign and I was with NXT. I'm gonna be honest with the people here. Do you think they would let me be me? Do you think? I just tell you like that. Oh, I want to see you WWE. No, because Triple H, no matter how cool he is and how much he nurtures great talent, don't get me wrong. I always say this: NXT is where good wrestling is at, and then if you just want to sit back and lay back, collect a paycheck or do a little something from here time to time, you go to Raw or SmackDown.
Right.
And basically, this is not me taking shots at it, but this is what it is. Everybody knows that NXT is the A show for WWE and stuff. But me, that was never my goal. My goal, I saw ECW as a kid, and I'll give you a little backstory.
Okay.
Not too much. I want to go on a rant. That's okay with you.
Yeah, that's okay. That's fine.
Okay. I know you got questions and stuff, so
Yeah, yeah.
I'll just tell this one part of my life, and I'm not gonna go into the whole night.
Yeah, no worries.
Uh, I grew up. Of course, everybody knows I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, but I grew up in a town called Germantown, and I used to live and near not in Germantown Projects. I used to live near. Well, actually, I used to live in this place called Germantown Projects, and then it became another project. So anyway, I lived in the PJs. I lived next to the Germantown High School, and um, I got taken away from my peoples, from my fams, from my dad and mom and stuff. And I was like raised partly in a group home, basically. Um, you know, I don't. I don't think I don't like talking about this because I talked about this
Yeah,
before.
no, dude. It's your spotlight, my man.
So I'm open about talking about it. You know, then one day, Guardian came in with the older kids like, "Hey, we going to this wrestling event I saw on a poster like there in South or in Central City, which is in Philly. Rural Philadelphians know what I'm talking about." So he's like, "I saw this poster on Central City, and it's wrestling. It was called ECW Wrestling, Extreme Championship Wrestling." Then that flew past mommy. Like it's like not taking shots at WWE fans, but like if you only watch WWE and you only watch NXT, but if you know, there's a difference. If you know what's out there, that's a difference. Oh yeah, I know there's Game Changer. I know there's Beyond. I know there's PWG, but you still watch NXT. Respect to you. Respect to you. Clap that to you. That's no harm, no foul. I don't hit on you. But then you get these guys out here that think they know all the stuff and we're like, oh, where did he come from? Where did he come from? But they
Mhm.
never seen that promotion and never seen that guy. Now they see Joey on AEW and like, whoa, where did you come from? Well, you
Mhm.
came from the little high schools and like you don't know what you're talking about. Now you just drain yourself in disinformation.
Right.
But anyway, getting back to my story. My guardian took me down. We rode the train and we went down to South Philly.
Mhm.
And we went to at the time it was the Eagles Nest.
Okay.
Um, uh, and we went to the Eagles Nest, and I remember this big guy. He looked like a scary big guy. I wasn't really scared of nobody, but he just like had a beard and he had tattoos, and that really freaked me out. What freaked me out is like he was really really tall to me at the time because I was really short as a kid,
Mhm.
and so I'm like people think I used to be a big kid growing up. No, I used to be a skinny guy, and like I just grew up playing different sports, so I had to in wrestling I had to cut weight, and in football I had to gain weight. So all that kind of stuff. Anyway, goes in. We go in. He marks the X on me, which is you're not drinking, you're a little kid and stuff like that. I get like a Pepsi, or was I drinking Coke back then? I think I was drinking Coke before I changed over to Pepsi and not Pepper. I think I was drinking one of those. Or maybe I was just drinking
Smart.
this Sprite like I got here.
Nice.
I was drinking a soda nonetheless.
Right.
Uh, I was drinking it, it had been at least about seven of us, seven of us. And the lady was like, yeah, you can't take kids in this bar. He's like, oh, I got permission, I got ID and whatever. Back when you couldn't do stuff like this and stuff. So,
Mhm.
um, so it basically had music concerts and stuff like that. But I would see like all these guys, girls, like I think I don't know when people ask me like when did I start liking all kinds of women. I kind of liked all kinds of women because I thought it was just interesting. Like I know a lot of black guys that stick to their race and just date black women. I date black women too, but I just thought Asian girls are amazing, which I still think. Puerto Rican, there's many Latinos. I'm not gonna put in a category. All Latino women, So I see all these women coming through the ECW T-shirt, like just like this, the game changer thing, and then like correct you. You said game charger. I had to say just game
Game
changer.
charger, yeah.
Yeah. Um. So my first match we even seen was Taz and Bam Bam Bigelow, and Taz was fighting up to the entrance, and I remember he was like this, he was and then he just get him with that Saito suplex, and he just suplexed him through the arena. Like, so my eyes was like this, my eyes was like, holy shit! So yeah, I was cussing, I was even cussing at a little kid. So
Man, starting from the beginning.
I was like, I at least had to be 7 or 8 to be
Mhm.
honest. So it was like 1997, 98. That's how quote unquote old, but I'm not really old, but
Yeah. So, yeah, that's awesome. I think I love the experience that you had, especially at an ECW show back in those times when you were younger, and especially at the ECW arena. So I'm very curious to know, since you are a professional wrestler, making your debut over at GCW, the backyard show over at July 4th. Was there anybody at the ECW roster that really you consider your favorite, or that caught your eye?
it was a whole bunch of people. I think the first black wrestler I ever saw in my life was New Jack.
Hmm.
He would come out uh, come out to a song, Natural Born Killers,
Hmm.
and I thought like this dude was like not. Some people like, oh, he's crazy. Or like, I thought he was the coolest shit I ever saw in my life. Like, he just come in there, just fucking people up, just hitting people with chairs and stuff, and like I thought that was the coolest shit ever. Um, I think people have a misconception of what kind of wrestling I like.
Mm.
Uh, I like some hardcore stuff. Um, I just stopped watching for a little bit, but I like guys like New Jack. I like the guys that everybody's afraid of. Like, I don't know what it is about it, because they're the nicest guys that you can ever think. I'm not gonna spoil anybody's cover, but like the
Yeah.
most dangerous motherfuckers that you can think are like the nicest guys. How cool is the nicest guy? But he will rip your throat out. So uh, Damian Priest, Judas Priest. What is it? Not Judas Priest. Damian Priest.
Damian
The
Priest.
nicest guy. Help me up all my stuff that I am preparing for backyard wrestling, July 4th. And they taught me some couple martial art moves, and him and Donnie Janela, Joy's cousin, taught me some stuff. He's gonna work with me this coming week, so I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna record a lot of stuff, but I will record some matches. So be on the look for that. Rob Van Dam was cool to me, of course. If you grew up in the '90s, I think you would like Rob Van Dam. And some people like, I don't like Rob Van Dam, but I like Rob Van Dam. But my favorite out of everybody else, I like Jerry Lynn. I like Super Crazy. I like Jerry. My favorite one, I think that I don't know if this gonna throw everybody for a loop. I love Mike Awesome. I just
Thank
love
you.
him. I just
Thank
like he
you. I love
power
Mike
bomb shit
Austin
out of
too.
he would power bomb the shit out of anybody, and he would come out with his judge, and he would get the biggest boos and like, fuck you awesome, fuck you awesome.
Right.
And like, so I like him, I like Tanaka, I just like the whole roster, I just like that whole environment.
Mm.
I would have dreams at night, just like I did for Ring of Honor. I know we're talking about Ring of Honor, but I'm gonna get on this. Uh I had dreams about debuting in ECW and stuff as a kid, like having an ECW ring announcer saying my name. Back then it was Jeff the Rebel,
Mm.
and then because I didn't really like my name Nasty Leroy at the time. It was a given name in the streets, so I didn't really like my name Leroy. It's my whole name in general. So when I got comfortable with that, later years, I dreamed about Bobby Cruz ring announcing my name and like being in the ring, from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and he would, do the whole thing. And this is for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team, whole thing. But now the goal has changed for that. My goals are different now. But yeah,
That's awesome. I mean, trust me, I will say this to you, Leroy. I honestly think that Bobby Cruz is one of the best ring announcers of all time. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I mean, I used to watch ECW footage because my father used to travel from Philadelphia back in the day and then go all the way back here in California. And then he would just bring all these tapes, these ECW tapes. And I think that was awesome what he did back in the day. Of course, I watched on the network to see all of his stuff as well. But you know what? I mean, you do have an aspiring ring announcer person here to if you're ever looking for a ring announcer, personal ring announcer.
I
I'm
gotta
kidding.
see your stuff. I gotta see your, I see your ring announcer on your profile, so
Mhm.
you gotta see what you do, you never know. I might just give, it's another guy I was talking to. He was a good dude, so it's a couple two ring announcers that give you the floor and the opportunity, see what you do with it. As team is always recruiting, aka slash the nasty gang. Or that's the MBK. Oh, my bad. Anyway.
Yeah. So speaking about family and groups, you are a part of the Nightmare family. You are a part of the Nightmare family wrestling training school, and you also had a Nightmare family jacket on AEW, which I thought that was absolutely dope. Can you tell me about your beginning over there at the Nightmare family training facility? And not only that, how cool was it to actually get your own Nightmare family jacket?
I try not to break down for that one. Uh, like when Cody brought it out, like
Mhm.
before they took a picture, I try not to break down. So, but my eyes got big as hell. Like, oh man, I'm actually getting a jacket, and it's not like, oh, it's a cool thing to do. Like, I told Cody, like, I'm not trying to, like, I think he knew I was being genuine, because I think a lot of people just want to be in that circle and say, yeah, I love you, Cody, and I've always liked you, and because he's on the Indies now, and now he's in AEW. Man, let me tell you this: when he got released from WWE, I was probably I know it was sad, but like for some people to get released, but I was so happy because at a point in time, I was like, there is a chance that me and Cody can step in the ring together, like either tag or a singles. But yeah, I just told him, like, I've been a fan of you, like I've always been a Cody Rhodes fan. Like, this is not it's me sucking up and kissing his ass. Like, uh I was always a Cody fan, because I not just because of dad and his brother and stuff, just that whole Rhodes family. Like, they know how to not only they know how to make you believe. I think I posted on Instagram. Uh, the story is the infamous story that I tell now. My uncle didn't know what he did for me. At the time, I was literally not watching. I watched Raw from every now and then because it was wrestling. I'm like watching stuff. I love how WWE at the time, like, this is sports entertainment. We're not wrestling. Okay. Anyway, um, like I'm pretty much done with wrestling. I turned it off, actually. I was like, so my uncle, I would stay with him from time to time because I was like, a little bad kid and stuff. So he told me, he says, Nancy. I said, yes, Uncle E. Fuck on. So he says, you was watching some wrestling, huh? I was like, yeah, I'm not into it no more. I'm just gonna turn it off. He said, is any hockey games on? Nope. Any baseball games on? Nope. So, all right, let me take you up to the attic. Let me take you up to my attic. Well, he took me to the base. He took me up to the attic, and then we literally got back down and went to the basement and go watch the uh, the tapes. So he went up to the attic. He had all the tapes from like the '80s. Like he had some from Mid South, Mid
Wow.
Atlantic. What was it? He had some from the Seattle area. He like almost every territory. Like, I said, Uncle, where you get that from? He said, I got the connections, nephew. Don't ever rely on your uncle, the connections. Like, so nobody in my family like wrestling. So I thought I was the dark horse in the family that like wrestling. And plus in the black community, not only in the hood, it's not looked at as, not looked at as, oh, you're a wrestling fan in other communities. You like baseball, that's kind of like shouting to the stuff. Only if you like hip hop, and football and basketball, people you're accepted. And if you like wrestling, you're kind of like on the outskirts of like everybody else's. This is how it is for not only a young black person, but anybody of like color like that matters too. I don't like to bring race in it, but it is what it is.
Mhm.
He showed me Dusty Rhodes, and I was just like I was completely sucked in of like how you would talk and how you would cut promos and how you people make people believe and how you would every people hung on every word like of course the famous everybody talks about the hard times promo. You know what sucked me in the Dusty Rhodes promo? The one promo that got me like was when he came out with the fur jackets, fur coats, him and Magnum TA, and
Mhm.
they would be like, yeah, we taking didn't that I'm gonna butcher it so bad, but it's
Yeah,
a
no
good promo.
worries.
Nice. Look it up. We're taking it. I think Madam TA spoke first. We're taking the United States Heavyweight Tag Team Championships, and Big Dust and I are going to show you, Horseman. And then he's just like so. And then Dusty Rhodes got on the mic. He said, what was it? I won with kings and queens, and
Mhm.
I've been on pork and beans, and tonight, I'm so messing up. But he basically cut the promo, and I was so hooked on it. I'm not gonna do Dusty like that, but he was so. I was like this. I was like this, like the TV, like guys now that like whoever your particular favorite are. I was like this to the TV, like this, like on every word. So that seeing that, and then seeing Ric Flair for the first time, I was like. This is guys is basically me, my inner self. Like at the time, I don't want to say like, oh, I'm one of those nerdy kids. That was never like not a knock on nerdy kids, but I was never like not like one of. I would like to tell you, I was one of the unpopular guys, or no, actually, was very. I was actually very noticed in school. I wasn't popular, but I
Mhm.
wasn't an outcast. I was really in the middle, so I knew everybody.
Yeah.
So, um, he would just talk his talk. Ric Flair would talk his talk, and then I like of course I like Ric Flair because he talked trash and stuff, and like
Mhm.
talk about partying and stuff like that. And of course any person, and I use it now. Anybody can see I use Ric Flair as an example for mainly some nasty or character. They call it the character because it's not really a character, it's just me. Talk about his night, how many women he was getting. He talking about what he was doing that night, and I just always liked how he carried it and how he would talk and he would laugh at the people. Yeah, I just like it's like all that. I liked everybody from that era. Like Magnum TA was a badass. I liked everybody. So I think a lot of people um think that uh I don't know if they think I like one particular era, but I'm a big Uso. That was disturbing to me with the NWA stuff that I never got a chance and opportunity there because I was a big fan of the NWA and I had a feeling like, all right, they're setting us up like a nostalgia old school product. I could do wonders in this place. I can not only cut promos and be at the top of the dome as always. I don't never really write my promos down, so I just go with the flow and I just talk to the people. I talk to the people like I'm talking to you right now.
Yeah.
So, that kind of like got me back into pro wrestling, and I think years years later when I was training in different facilities, um, uh, I was thinking about retirement. Actually, I was thinking about like if Joy hadn't brought me on and done so much for me, I was literally going into stand up comedy. I was making moves. My friend had put so at the place he put me on stage. Like, man, you're a naturalist, stand up. You can do so much here. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna. None works out in pro wrestling. I'm just gonna be a stand up comedian. Get a normal job, of course. Not 9 to 5, but like do focus on stand up comedian because that's what I watch. And so your question was the Nightmare Factory.
Mhm.
Um, Pretty much I met QT in Orlando, Florida, at WrestleMania weekend, and the team was in dojo, and he said it in a joking way, but I don't think he liked chops at the time, and he's like, "Oh, so you're a big chopper, huh?" I was like, yeah, I got heavy hands. I don't like the chop. I was like, I like doing it. I like doing it. Even if it hurts my hands sometimes, I like doing it.
Mhm.
He's like, oh, when you get in the ring with me, you ain't gonna be chopping. And it's funny because months later, that I am chopping the crap out of him, and he hates it. But like somehow, so far, he just had to take it because that's all I like to do. I like to do forums too, but I don't know. I like when somebody like you can hear it, like you had a good big chop, but I don't like really I don't really do too much. Like people think I'm like I use my body weight. If I'll tell you the secrets of my chops. I'll just go in with my body weight. If you watch Roger Strong, he does the same thing. I use my body weight. I go in like this. And I go in my body weight. So that's what I do, and it works every time. Yeah. So months later, I really wasn't supposed. He didn't want me to be a wrestler. He definitely didn't want me to wrestle. He's like, can't you just be a manager, a commentator? I was like, yeah, but I really want to wrestle. I was really like, I got something to bring to the table,
Mhm.
And I think what changed my mind on not only me managing or have that a second option, or more of a career choice. If something was to happen, like if I like got hurt in the ring, he was like, yeah, you want this, you want to have something to fall back on since you love pro wrestling so much. He's like, yeah, just be a manager, and I didn't like it. So I think what changed my mind is like I had people literally wanting to fight me one time, like if you want to talk about, I like how old school people's like Disco Inferno and Cornette and stuff like that, like say, oh, nobody gets good heat no more. Nobody's really hated. I'm like, bro, you ain't seen my match. I've had people throw food at me, want to throw punches at me, like get them emotionally invested. I think one of the few wrestlers that I can get people emotionally invested. Either you hate me or you love me. So I take pride in that. So uh later on, I just was just training my ass off, just show him like, hey, I'm about to show you I'm gonna be a wrestler. I'm about to show you gonna put me in a match. And then one of the cards that we had, the crowd went crazy. It was like they was just chanting Nancy. Never wrestled in Norcross in my life, but they just was like going bananas. And I was a villain at the time. I was a villain bordering to turn babyface because I turned to be a good guy in Tennessee.
Mhm.
And so it was, all right, we're gonna fill out the crowd, see if Norcross is they a little smarter than Cleveland, Tennessee, but no disoffense. Um so we'll see it. So they just was going crazy. Then that was a turn of I call myself an anti-hero babyface because I do bad things, but people still like me. And somebody just called me the Eddie Guerrero of one fall at the time because I cheat and I win and people like me. I just mainly I know I'm going on a whole rant, but like I'm just sum it up. I just mainly hustled and mainly use that Philly mentality to show people wrong. Like I like for you to say that I'm like legitimate. I don't think he had a chance, or I go and call myself an underdog because I think that's too cliche. I call myself a dark horse. So I like you to count me out. I like you to do that because that only gets me fired up. And then some of my friends try to do it, but I obviously know they're trying to do it to fire me up. When somebody I barely even know or people that I do know try to get me to fire up, like, yeah, I don't really count him to do this or do that, and that fires me up. But yeah, I just was like, mainly Cody and them saw they was watching my promos, they was watching my stuff, and they was like, obviously they had seen me for a while because I wrestled them, but they kept the eye. It was kept an eye on me, and I was like, I didn't even know it at the time that I was giving them go. Like I gave this one promo. I think everybody needs to go back and watch. It's on my YouTube. It's something about I'm gonna finish that job. I think that's the thing. It was Sammy Guevara. My friend Clothesline gave it to him. Shout out to Clothesline because he's the heart and soul, one of the heart and soul, the production guys of AEW. One of my best friends actually, and I ain't forgot about what MGF did to him. That rat bastard.
Oh man, but I mean, he is the salt of the earth after all. You talk about the investment of the crowd, and you talk about when you were a heel during your run. You got the crowd emotionally invested in hating your guts and really kind of putting the real life perspective of a wrestling fan kind of into that character. I think when you're talking about that, I think I remember back in the old days of Nature Boy Buddy Rogers and how much everybody hated him back in the day and how much the character invested in Buddy Rogers. So I guess what I could ask, or if I may ask, is what would you say about, for professional wrestlers who want, or you know what, scratch that. Like, do you prefer gimmick wrestling or do you prefer the regular professional wrestling, especially in today's time?
It's all about, like, I'm not gonna be one of these guys that, because I come from a different perspective of, like, I said ECW, but also I was away from wrestling for a lot of years though. Like, I at least had to been around, he's good about 5-6 years until I started watching wrestling. And I think what you want to do is, like, I tell people at the Nightmare Factory, all the new trainees, like, you come up with your character, but your character has, I know they say the character is your best. It's you on 10, it's you on 13, it's it's you, but it's like turned up.
Right.
That only works for some people. Like, that only works, like, for me is me. I'm me. This is me. I can't be anybody else. Like, of course, I got other characters that people see on Janela Zone, but, like, I'm me. When you stab it, I'm Leroy from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, who grew up fighting. Like, I'm a kid. This is down. Like, I'm a kid that grew up fighting. Like, I didn't. People's like, oh, you don't need to fight. I literally had to fight most of the time, because when you got a mid-tone voice and people look at you as a target in Philly, and this in general wherever I went, they looked at me as target. So I fought mainly all my life. I've been in, like, so many fights I can't even, like, and yes, they're shoot fights, they're real fights. So I also bring that into my wrestling style, like, and when I'm telling the story, I use real situations.
Right.
Like, a lot of people think me and the belt god are, like, working everybody because of KM is fucking up shit and stuff, telling people, oh, this is a big work, this storyline. No, this guy was like my brother. He turned on me, and we used to party all the time, doing a lot of stuff. You're not gonna, like I said, you're not gonna catch me like, oh, Nancy Leroy was getting with a girl and she said no, and then now he's on some different kind of charges. No, you're not gonna see that, because I knew going forward, even when I was a quote unquote nobody, I knew that shit would come back to haunt me.
Right.
So I never was like, oh, you gonna give me this, and, like, no, if I shot my shot, I shot my shot, and I was done. And if you wasn't down for me to get the score in there, it is what it is. So at the same time with my wrestling, I use real scenarios. Like, for example, everybody that's watching, Mike, if you're a wrestler and you're close with your dad or your uncle, whatever the case, or you got a good relationship with your girlfriend,
Mm-hmm.
And everybody knows what that like is. So everybody knows what that like is. You're close, and then not talk shit about your dad or your girlfriend or whatever. No
Mm-hmm.
matter what promotion you watch, if you watch me for a second, I can draw you in.
Right.
And I know I can, because I've done it before. I've been in, like, the most redneck towns and had them trying to fight me. I've also been in Norcross and down in downtown Atlanta, and both go the same. Like, I can get people to either hate me or love me. So it's all about taking real situations. This is not a knock on any aspiring professional wrestlers or guys now, but I think the problem is people don't use real life scenarios in their storylines. And I think that's the problem with WWE. The reason why the Heath Slater storyline works so good is because it's real shit out here. I
Right.
got kids. I need to feed them. I need to feed them. I'm a free agent, and I need to feed them. It's basically, they need to eat, and I need to provide for them.
Right.
That's real shit. That's real shit. Like, you can't, if okay, I don't know who's in wrestling. I don't know who's a wrestling fan in your household. But if your family never saw, or your cousins or anybody you was close with never saw wrestling, you took them to a wrestling event, what's the one thing they're gonna draw to?
The wrestlers.
Huh?
The wrestlers.
They're gonna draw to. They're gonna draw to not only the wrestlers. They're gonna draw to guys that are using that realistic background. If
Yeah.
I come out and I don't, quote unquote, I don't look like a WWE or pro wrestler, you know, even if I have slimmed down 20 pounds, I don't have abs or whatever, but I can talk, I can fucking wrestle, and I can get in there. But that's not gonna draw people. That's not gonna draw your family who never watched wrestling. What's gonna draw them if I'm cutting promos on you and your family, and they're like, yeah, Mike, do something about that. Yeah, when I see that dude, I'm gonna fuck him up. I'm gonna see him. You know, they gonna get riled up because it's real stuff. It's real situations. And I think a lot of wrestlers that if you take anything from this interview, especially aspiring wrestlers, use reality in your stuff.
Oh yeah.
I'm a reality based wrestler, and I'm not just saying it because it's a catch line. Because I've only been in real situations where in fights I've used forearms before. I've used fucking elbows before. So my shit is like, oh, you paying. I am paying homage to Dusty Rhodes, but I'm also paying in a real fight. Like in that ring, people think that don't you know it's a work, brother? I'm like, okay, here we go. You don't understand that I know. People don't understand. Like, yeah, like I'm smarter than they think. I know what it is. I'm just in that moment, and when I'm in the ring, it's a shoot. It's a fight for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I also bring storylines into it. I make it realistic because it's a fight, it's a shoot, it's real. It's real to me because I treat like it's real. I treat like it's a fight. Like
Yeah.
I got the Nash team, the Nash team and the Nightmare Factory are fight camps. They are MMA style, boxing style fight camps. I have my cornermen, I have the people who give me water, people who fix me up, all that kind of stuff. So that's what I say. And then I if you have a character you can still put some reality into it. I think that when you're I like both to be honest. Uh I like when you can be a character. You could also be a realistic person. You like your character burst turned up. But I think you should fuse it because my shit is both. Like I'm a character, as some people say. But like see, I've been told like even on jobs I'm a real life character. So it's like that's just golden for me. Um, I think whatever you found, whatever works for you. If you like to be like an over the top kind of effy kind of character, but also he put some realistic stuff. Like we have the same views on a lot of stuff in wrestling. I think we was put our heads together, like and like bring people outside from the world. I think a lot of people, what I realize is a lot of people, if you're yourself, but you're also a character, that works too. Like you gotta find that medium. Like, and it will take this is no knock on any wrestlers. It's no knock on any aspiring wrestlers. I just happened to be like, I was doing a wrestling character before I even knew I was doing a wrestling character. And that's a lot of rappers out there. A lot of MMA guys are like wrestling characters. And you know what's funny to me is like, if you go on like the MMA section, they'd be like, oh yeah, he's doing this pro wrestling stuff and it's working a little bit, but you need to get back to him beating people up. If you're a character in any sense of form, I'm not a real big MMA fan. I'm a casual MMA fan. But if I see you talking shit like a pro wrestler, I'm gonna be drawn to you more than the instance and more than if you just like, oh, how would you fight? Oh, it was good. I hit it with the left kick and I came down with my Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I got him out with my wrestling. Or then you be like, you're a character like Charles Sonnen. Hey, Anderson Silva, fuck you, okay? Matter of fact, not only that, I'm gonna beat you up. I'm gonna fuck you up. But yeah, it's a difference because I just say like this: like if you know anybody in MMA, how they have took stuff from pro wrestling and they've not only they've been a draw, but they made a lot of money. And not to get on the MMA rant, it's just like if you can take a lot of stuff. I draw a lot of stuff from MMA and boxing, but also draw a lot of stuff from my real life of what happened to me on the streets, and it's me in general interaction. It's about if you are willing to draw stuff from both. Like that can also be established. Like those are the greatest characters. You can be a character, but you can also be your real self. But your
Right.
real self has to be entertaining just as much as your character. So I'm missing the golden spot where my shit is like, hey, I'm a real life character. I'm my friend at the time before we started being friends, he used to get mad at me because he's like, you know what, you got gold here, and you like the most complete pro wrestler in on the independent circuit right now. Like you got your promos, you got a character, you got a certain look about you, you got a certain walk, you got everything down, and you're fucking it up by getting in one of your modes. Because I was in my head a lot, so I get over that, and I realized that this quarantine has made me realize what I had in front of me. And I think if there was no quarantine, I probably would have got back in my head and got in my own mode of like not wanting to do stuff. So I get less motivated more times if I don't have nothing to do. Like so, you know. But yeah, I think that's what it is. To answer your question, I know it was a long way to answer.
Yeah, no worries, man. Well, thank you, Leroy, for being a part of this interview. I know we had a great conversation going on. I do wish you the best in your GCW return and GCW debut over at the Backyard Wrestling Show, July 4th, Independence Day. I cannot wait. I don't think I'm only speaking for myself, but I think the whole wrestling community cannot wait. We are all cheering for your match to see who are you facing, because that has yet to be revealed as of this recording. Is there anything that you want to plug? Any final words you want to say to the Nasty Nation?
You know what I want to say to the nation, to the nasty nation. I just want to say this. Uh, go get my go follow me on everything. If this is your first time watching me on Sock Monkey Mike, and okay, I have to say this because we didn't bring this up in the interview. So if you are a guy or a girl that has never seen independent pro wrestling in your life, all you watch is NXT and stuff. And I'm not pointing out any people. I'm just saying in general, like we're all wrestling fans. Like at the end of the day, I think CM Punk said it best, even that whatever you want to say about him, he said it best. This is all pro wrestling. This is not sports entertainment. And we all watch pro wrestling. I think everybody should broaden your horizons
Mhm.
for wrestling stuff. I think you should check out a promotion like GCW. I think you should definitely check out a promotion like Beyond Wrestling. Uh, um, you know, uh, PWG. I think you should check out. Just mainly get the Independent Wrestling Network. I think that's all I can say. If anybody hasn't checked out Independent Wrestling, it's got a collage of categories of like a category
Mhm.
catalog, not collage, but a
Mhm.
catalog of independent wrestling. If you've never seen these promotions, go follow them on your YouTube channel. But mainly, where you can get a lot of this stuff is IWTV and like that's where you can find them. On that note, too, you can just follow me on Instagram at official Nancy Leroy. You can follow me on Twitter at that Nancy Leroy. People ask me why do you have that digital Twitter handle? There was another Nancy Leroy running around was an old bodybuilder guy, or we call him old. We call him a mature bodybuilder.
Mhm.
And also go check out the podcast. I will be putting up more episodes. I know I've been busy with the live, but I'm gonna take a little couple times breaks in between my live, and I'm gonna really ramp up my podcast, the Nash Rally podcast. And if you want to hear me talk more, and I am on the, I don't even call it interview. We just sit back and chill. We talk pro wrestling. We talk about any stuff and everything. It's like if you see Nasty After Dark Instagram, is that version, but on the podcast. I'm gonna have special co-host to
Ooh.
come on, and some people I know and some people who wants to be my co-host, and we will have guests on there. Also, you can follow me on TikTok at that Nancy Man. You could also be looking out for my merchandise in the public, if you will. Um, I will have 8x10 shirts coming soon. Also, go follow, go get yourself a pro wrestling tee store so we can get up to the. I want to get to the top sellers of the month of June and be one of the top sellers on pros and tees. And also, just follow all my buddies. Follow all my guys that you see me interact with. I got a lot of good wrestlers. There's a guy named O'Shea Edwards that I think he is like, he's in Ring of Honor and he's going through his stuff at Ring of Honor, but he's still an independent guy. I think everybody should check out them. And also support independent wrestling. Don't just say it. Go to a show. So if you live in whatever area, if you live in California, you haven't been to a PWG show, you should literally your girlfriend or whoever, or maybe I should come up there, smack the fuck out you because you has not been watching some great independent wrestling. There's really good organizations like PWG, like Game Changer, like Extra Wrestling. And yeah, so and also stop asking me if I'm gonna be on AEW yet. One, you don't control shit, okay? Let's just get that right. I do whenever, wherever I go. And all you need to know is if you want to see that man, Nancy Nation, do like this. Look at my eyes. And just like you look in the eyes, you just sit, you watch, and you do this. And every Wednesday night, you just watch. That's all you need to do. Watch AEW Dark. Stop asking me about QT, okay? I don't worry about what's going on in his life. I'm just concerned with what's going on in his rankings. As you see, they're causing him tag team title opportunities. But if you want to see what's going on with me and my friends, my coaches, and anything of the Nightmare Factory and the Nightmare Family, the Nancy Nightmare Family, as I call it, just watch AEW Dynamite. You never know when you see this face, this handsome face, on AEW Dynamite. Because I got some big stuff in the works.
Ooh. Well, we are definitely excited to see that, Leroy. Thank you so much. Make sure you guys follow him on all social media platforms, which will be in the description below. And make sure you guys check out the podcast. Check out Nasty After Dark. Check out everything that that man, has been doing. So thank you so much, Leroy. I really
one more thing. One more thing.
Go ahead.
One more thing. All right, listen. For all the jealous boyfriends out there, all the haters, okay? I know you out there, okay? I'm going to tell you this. Don't hate because your girl's watching my lives with Joe. And don't hate because she's watching me on Instagram Live, okay? You need to do something better so she won't be distracted by that, man. But, who can blame her? She get addicted to the Nancy Flood and she can't stop, okay? That's all I can say. And also, I want you to stay nasty, my friends. Check out, mind if I do like a little plug?
Yeah, go ahead. Okay. The floor is yours, my friend.
I already did my plugs. But all right, I'm going to keep this PG because I know he's probably going to have to edit all the swears that I got. Anyway, check out Sock Monkey Mike. Man, I'll do it official. Hold on. No music, because I don't need no music this time. This is that man. Who? That Nancy man. Nancy Leroy, a.k.a. your girlfriend's favorite wrestler, a.k.a. the mayor of Pound Town, the president of the Nancy Nation. AEW affiliated. Personality and wrestler. Making a GCW soon, debut and part of the GCW family. Also, what I want you to do, I want you to click whatever up, and I don't know where it is, but click the link, download it, do whatever. I don't know how that goes on because I'm not looking at the stuff, but all of them in there. Subscribe to the channel, and if you don't, you're being a rat bastard. So check out Stock Market Mike and his NXT and AEW reviews because he might be talking about that man. The leader in the Nasty Nation is out, and you already know what it is. It's Nasty time. We giving all you rat bastards a cold dose of Nasty reality.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Leroy. And until we meet again, my friend, I hope we get another another chance to conversate soon. So thank you so much, Leroy, and I will see you guys again soon.
Boom.